Haters to Rumble Channel 2 please. For haters of Rick Walker, Sanctuary is available in the chat on Rumble Channel 2. Greetings Mavericks and new viewers. Tonight, direct and live. From the Maverick News Network, World Studios. This is Maverick News with Rick Walker.
Okay. Welcome back, everyone. We've been having some technical problems again tonight, so I apologize for that, but I think I have everything working now. So we're off to the races just a little bit late. Is the audio okay? That's the next question. But the live feed did not begin at all at 7 o'clock on any of the channels, I don't think. So I was able to get things rejigged here. I can just bring the audio up. And no, and of course not. And the audio is all messed up again. So let me just do the magic trick today.
Greetings brave Mavericks. Our quest for truth continues. We go beyond fake news. Together we expose propaganda. Together we pull others out of rabbit holes. We are Maverick thinkers. We are all unique individuals, defenders of individual rights and freedoms, credible, trusted, grounded in reality. Maverick News, defending free speech, Donate at freedomreporters.com. Do it now. Tomorrow, maybe too late. Maverick News. The world is watching.
Never a dull moment. Always a technical problem. I think I have it worked out. Can you hear me? I think you probably can. Let me just check the audio over here. Yes. Okay. And we have audio. So we're in business. So tonight, we're going to give you some news. I'm also going to reflect on some of what we talked about last night regarding information warfare, artificial intelligence, propaganda. I have a very interesting video to share with you. It's I think it'll open your eyes. I hope it does, and make you think and make you aware, so that it better arms you as you move forward through the new information space out there. Make you a lot more media savvy, I think, tonight. And I think Dragon's going to join us on the line to help walk us through that a little bit. And maybe John, maybe both Johnnies, I don't know. Because this actually ties in a little bit to what I was talking to Johnny from Toronto about last night. So maybe he can help with the conversation too. And John from Alberta, I think he's going to call in tonight. He said he was. So I hope that he gets home in time to join us. and help move the conversation forward. Before we get to the phones and get those guys talking with us about this, just a couple of stories to take note of tonight. The Canadian Armed Forces have dropped aid by air into Palestine, into Gaza, to help the Palestinians there. So they've dropped nearly 10,000 kilograms of aid to Palestinians today. Canadian Armed Forces flew a CC-130J Hercules over the Gaza Strip and dropped the big bundles of food by parachute in. Here's a look at the post on X via CTV. I'll show you that. There it is. You can see Mark Carney's post there. Early this morning, the Canadian Armed Forces airdropped life-saving aid into Gaza. He says the humanitarian disaster in Gaza is rapidly deteriorating. Canada is intensifying our efforts with international partners to develop a credible peace plan and will ensure aid moves forward, says Foreign Affairs Minister as well. Anita Anand, in a separate social media post, said that she remains in contact with her counterpart in Jordan to ensure Canadian aid reaches Palestinians via air and land. And a lot of criticism being leveled over the apparent starvation in Gaza. And I think that is undeniable at this point. A lot of images and reports coming out of there, and any claims to the contrary, I think, well, let's just say, I think that the claims saying that there is starvation there at this point are very credible. So that's why Canada has done what it has done. Now, on the flip side of that, here's another story, which, a sign of the times. The synagogue in Victoria defaced, vandalized, making headlines. BC's Premier and Public Safety Minister condemning the act. This is Canada's oldest surviving synagogue. Victoria Police Department called to the synagogue around 8 p.m. on Saturday. Story really just making headlines tonight. And the Jewish Federation of Greater Vancouver was among the groups who shared an image of statements that were posted or painted or scrawled on the building. Here, let's see if we can get it up larger so you can see it. Bring it down here, bring it up over there. It's a different source. No, that's not what we wanted. My apologies. Brought the same thing back up. We need something. We need the other one. Come on, computer. Sluggish. But hey, at least we're on the air. We're on the internet. That's old school on the air. Since we're talking about media, should get it straight, I guess, right? People still refer to video as videotape. That's okay. I'm still on that boat too. It says Jews are evil. Well, you can just see it. I don't even need to read it. And of course, it's connected to the previous story. Allegations or claims of or an assessment of genocide in Palestine. Yeah. It says here that thousands of children being murdered in Palestine. And that's enough of that. So yeah, I want to bring in a little bit of assistance tonight as we navigate through these next stories. They relate to what we were talking about last night: information warfare, propaganda, news, real news, fake news, those sorts of things. So I'm going to open the phones here so that we can get, I think our callers probably are ready to join us, or at least one or two of them. Oh, and I have something very special queued up for the end of the broadcast. You are not going to want to miss it. It's also inspired by the events of the past few days, week, especially last night. Something I've been working on for a little while. And it's also related to the War of the Worlds production, which is kind of where it all ties into as well. All right. Phone lines are there. Let me just run the promo so that we get the phone number up and our callers can call in. Okay, Mavericks, it's call-in time. Join the conversation. Call 1-647-734-4220. Then enter the PIN number 860-075-764, followed by the pound sign. Exercise your right to free speech. Call 1-647-734-4220. Then enter the PIN number 860-075-764, followed by the pound sign. Call 1-647-734-4220. Then enter the PIN number 860-075-764, followed by the pound sign. Maverick News. Call now. The world is watching and listening to you. All right, I'm back. And let me put the number up on the screen. If anybody else wants to join, you can. Here's the phone number, or I shouldn't do it that way. I should put it on the ticker on the bottom. So it scrolls. 1-647-734-4220. Punch in the PIN number 860-075-764, followed by the pound sign, and you can join the call. So also we're seeing the two of Canada's most senior ministers are getting ready to head to Mexico to talk trade. This, as it looks like the trade talks with the U.S. are starting to fall apart. Not surprising to me, because it isn't really just about trade. Okay, let's get this call up. And who do we have? Oh, hang on. Still not there. Freezing up a little bit. All right, there we go. Who's on the line? Okay, hang on a second here. Let me get you up on the screen. A lot of buttons to push here tonight. Here we go. Almost there. Couple more clicks and away we go. And come on. Come up on the screen. Come up on the screen. There we go. I think we've got you. Is that my good friend Dragon from Montreal? Again?
It is.
All right. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. I've got some interesting stuff to share tonight. Kind of related. You know, we were having an interesting conversation. You called earlier this afternoon. And my head is so full of stuff because I've just been so busy through the day today. I'm glad you called, because you can kind of help guide the conversation a little bit tonight and keep me on track, because my head is kind of just a little foggy and twisted around. What were we talking about today? We were talking about what we're going to do with the channel, I think. And Yeah. And oh, I remember what it was now. It was the how this channel was resurrected and the history that
Yeah.
led to where we are today. I remember now. That's kind of why I also wanted you to call in. Because, it was an interesting conversation because we were talking about the Freedom Convoy. That's when this channel or this news operation, whatever, I resurrected it because I created it in the earliest days of YouTube. Back then, nobody really knew what the heck YouTube even was. I started the channel, and I was messing around with it. But after about 6 months of trying to do some like local news coverage and stuff, it just became obvious that at the time it wasn't viable. There were a lot of people on YouTube, but there was no way to kind of make it work. And so I stopped. And then I did use YouTube for my automotive programming, my automotive television show. I put a lot of content up for that, but I was never focused on it. I never really, massaged it, right? And then of course we talked about when the Freedom Convoy happened. That's when the channel was resurrected. I said, let's get this thing up and running. It'll be a useful tool because we can keep everybody honest, provide wall to wall, bumper to bumper, beginning to end coverage of the events at the Freedom Convoy. And my goal there was to get people closer to the truth by showing all the live streams we could get access to.
A form of news congregation kind of thing.
Yeah, like curated content, but just bring it all together. Many feeds, where as much coverage with as many cameras as we could to show people the reality, right? And I thought that would be an incredibly effective tool to just keep protesters honest, to keep police honest, to keep residents honest, to keep anybody who was there honest, and bring people truthful, full coverage. The more you have, the better. That's the way I kind of viewed it. And I thought that it kind of worked. And the reason was because the reason I wanted to do it was because I didn't feel that mainstream media was really being completely honest with people, especially at the time. Pandemic, lockdowns. I didn't feel the coverage of those things was truthful or honest. But over time, what did you think of that, Dragon? What did you think of the coverage? Because the reason we got into that conversation is because that's when you started to watch this channel, right?
Yeah. Around the end of the convoy, probably on the last week, I would say.
Yeah.
And then, as everybody knows, RCMP came into the play, basically shoved everyone out. The poor lady who got trampled or allegedly got trampled, with all the story that we know from Peaceman and all that. So yeah, it was a harsh time to believe everything or to put ourselves into all the different perspectives.
Yeah. So I viewed that at the time, as a person who has worked in media all my life and as a journalist, I thought this is an incredibly powerful tool, incredibly powerful medium. At the time, I thought it worked very well. Was that also your impression, that you were kind of getting a really full and fair picture of what was really going on in the streets?
Well, like you, I think I was probably thinking that, well, the mainstream media to a certain degree was paid to say, basically follow the science kind of thing, right? And it is where I did also believe where at some point, if mainstream media is, well, say, lying to me, probably the guy next to me won't lie to me or try to find the real truth,
Right.
the truth around. And the thing is that this is where I did also realize that the truth is not always out there, and we need to look into it more focusedly, and that's not what everyone's doing. So,
Yeah. And then over time, and it's taken quite a long time, but I have come to the realization that even with all those cameras, all those feeds, even with all of that and all this technology, we still did not get a really truthful picture or assessment of what was going on in Ottawa. We got it. We did get a lot of material, but the I've come over time to this conclusion. But really, was it about a week ago that Peace Man was on, who was at the convoy and shared that the video, the evidence? He was there and he showed us that the woman who was trampled by the horse with the walker, that was actually all staged, and she wasn't really injured as much as she let on. That was about a week ago, right? And and that just drove all this point home for me. I was enraged when I saw the video of that woman being trampled, right? Now, all this time later, how many years has it been? Like almost 4 years.
Well, already 3 now.
Yeah, over 3 years. And now we find out it wasn't what we thought it was. So even with all the technology and all the cameras, we didn't get a truthful report. And I shared that information at the time. I was one of many, many, many people who shared that out on this platform. Now, years later, it has taken years for the truth to catch up to the lie. And even as we talk about it here tonight, I would say very, 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 very few people are aware that it was staged and not really what it appeared to be. Because we're just one small voice in the whole thing, right? But it just really drove the point home for me. It was very disappointing, but it showed me that even with all the cameras and everything, the narrative was being controlled. In that case, you know what it was, Dragon? It was the protesters had control of the area. And their live streamers, who we also showed through Peace Man's evidence and videos and recorded Zoom meetings and documents, that it was this network of influencers who had basically gained control of the protest zone in Ottawa at the time. And so they were able to kind of control the information that was getting out. They were only showing the things that they wanted to show. So whether it was intentional or unintentional,
the camera at the right place.
Right. So it was a skewed perspective, is what I'm saying, because they're showing you the things they want to show you. If there's something bad happening over there that they don't want you to see, they didn't show you that. They only pointed their cameras in the directions of the things that they wanted you to see. So, this is the thing that we need to show now. We're going to show that. And it was a very controlled area for media. I didn't clue into that because we'd never had in Canada a protest like the Freedom Convoy before. We'd never had a political protest like that before. Nor in all the years I worked as a journalist up to that point, I'd never seen anything like that in our country. And now, years later, as things have progressed, all the inquiries, all of the investigations, the media that's out there now, the people I've talked to, just all the stuff that has happened. Now I'm beginning to see that, some of these things were not really truthful. So it's not just government that lies to us. It's people on the other side quite often as well. And I'm sorry to be the messenger that brings you that information, but I'm not sorry because that's what we're supposed to be doing here. And a lot of people probably want to shoot me right now just because I am bringing you that message, but it's the truth. And it ties into what we're talking about tonight.
Well, it brings also point home to the fact that nowadays, with the proliferation and how fast a lie can go all around the world, 10 times instead of 2 times 10 years or 20 years ago, what we should have seen before the truth takes take their boots or their shoes, like the expression says. Well, right now the truth doesn't even have time to put a socks before that lie gets hold of you 20 times.
And we have a new caller up, but just for just a moment, if I may, before we go to the new caller, I haven't been sleeping much the last few nights because a lot of things that have been going on here have really been weighing on me and bothering me. And as I thought about that and all the other stuff we talked about last night about problems with our channel and issues with our chat and free speech and how this channel, our platform here, has been an exercise or an experiment in free speech, I came up, something came to mind. Just this, it was truth is elusive, but a lie is always just a lie. That's what I thought. I do a lot of thinking when I'm laying in bed. That's what I thought of early this morning. And then I thought I must have heard that somewhere. And I tried looking it up. I can't find that quote anywhere. So I guess it just came to me. Maybe but that's just so true. That is the point behind so much of what is going on right now. It's not about what you believe. It's about what is true. Period. It doesn't matter if you have been told a lie and you repeat it. It doesn't matter how many times a lie is repeated. It doesn't matter how many people believe the lie. It's still a lie. People may not know it's a lie, but it's still a lie.
I got a question about that quote. Was it Albert Camus?
I tried to find it, Dragon. I looked and looked. I could not find that as a quote anyplace. That is just what came to mind to me today. So whether I just happened to think it, or if it's something that was something that I've read at some point in my life, I can't find that quote.
Because I got it here.
Is that who
I got it?
Okay. Anyway, it's what came to mind.
It's Albert Camus, and it says, "Truth is mysterious, elusive, always to be conquered. Liberty is dangerous, as hard to live with as it is elating." Okay, sorry for my English here. We must march toward these two goals, painfully but resolutely, certain in advance of our failing on so a long road. So yeah, basically it's about the elusivity of the truth and how it's conquer your liberty.
Yeah. Well, that's not my quote. My quote sums it up or whatever it is. That's not, there are a lot of quotes. A lot of people have said a lot of things about lies. So it doesn't matter. Anyway, that's what I just came into my mind this morning. So wherever it came from, original, not original, somebody else's, it's probably way too profound for me to have thought it up myself, but there it is. I threw it out there. So if anybody can find that as a real direct quote, not something just sort of similar, I'd be very interested to know who said it. If it wasn't me, so please share it with me, email me, whatever, put it in the chat so I can see it later. But anyway, that's the point though. The point is the truth is elusive. You can have different perspectives on things. You can
have a different opinion on something. That's okay. More than one thing can be true at the same time, right? And
Yeah.
But like you could have, like it could be, like with the Freedom Convoy, it was like it was like a lot of people came. There were a lot of people there who were just there organically because they wanted an end to the pandemic mandates. But it was also true that there were other people there who had, bad intentions. And there were actually, as you do the research and you go through all the documents and charges laid and you find out who the players were, you find that there were multiple groups there with different motives, different agendas. Vast majority of people, just the regular people, there because they just wanted an end to the mandates. So there you see multiple things true all at the same time. To just paint it all with one brush is a mistake, because it wasn't just one thing. It wasn't just people there to end the mandates. There were other things going on too. Many things. There were many different groups there, organizations, political activist groups. I'll leave it there, okay? And we could get into more of it, but that's the point. But so the truth is elusive. It's hard to understand truth. Truth is complicated, but a lie is always just a lie. Just a lie. Who joined us on the line? Who's there?
Oh, it's Lori here, Rick. I kind of dozed off for a minute there as you and Dragon kind of had a little stroll down memory lane once again on the convoy.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm getting a little tired of the two of you going off on this all the time.
Okay.
And if there's nothing else out there going on in the world, I'll buy you guys each a bus ticket to Ottawa, and you can stroll hand in hand down Wellington Street and enjoy each other, and you can relive the memories. But don't you think it's time to get on with the rest of the world here?
I do, Laurie. The only reason I'm talking about this is because we have these charges and the verdict and the sentencing coming up on the Litch and Barber stuff. So there are certain things that are happening right now that are bringing a lot of this to a conclusion. And I am also very tired of it. And I share your frustration and your exhaustion with it. I don't really.
Well, I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of Dragon being on there every second night, accusing the government of fascist move. We do have elections in this country, and that's how we change government.
Yep.
Isn't that the way it works?
Can I ask you,
Yeah.
where do I speak about fascism?
Well, you made that statement last night. You said that the government was making fascist moves.
Well, if you look at, because you got to look into it, for example, into a, I would call that, well, it's politics science, right? Science politic. If you look at democracy or other type of governance, if it's become unchecked and unbalanced, this is where you get to a point where it's become authoritarian, and authoritarianism, as we know, can come to fascism. So it's a thin line that we need to be careful with, and it's probably me that kind of have a hard time to express myself sometimes clearly, but this is what I think it is. So we're
I don't think you have a clue exactly what fascism is. That's what my father and my uncles went over to fight in Europe against during the Second World War, was fascism. That was the killing of 6 million Jewish people and numerous other millions of people worldwide. As far as I know, the convoy in Ottawa, there were no deaths. There could have been. We forgot about our fun-filled bunch of guys out on the Coots border there that were ready to go out and kill some Mounties. We also had a blockade on the Windsor Bridge that was screwing up trade with our partner to the south. You guys seem to focus on Ottawa and the fun and good times, and let's smoke some pot and we'll all dance around and we'll protest here. But you don't remember that there was a whole bunch of other stuff going on here.
I remember, and
Yeah,
and I also never hitched, like, well, anyway, and you know what, Laurie, I'm glad you call in, because I appreciate your participation, because you do bring us to other places, and we need
Well,
you.
I'll ask you some questions here, Rick.
Yeah.
Rick, both you and Dragon,
Mhm.
do you think that the majority of the population of Canada at that time supported the convoy, or do you think they were against it?
I think the majority probably was against it.
What do you think, Dragon?
I'm not sure if everyone was against or for the convoy. I think it was, I would say, a form of, I don't know how to tell you about that. Is there
Were you
as
there?
much as I can know? I know
Were
a
you
lot of
there?
people that was, well, I know a lot of people that, on my part, personally, that was all for the convoy. I don't know much people that was against, which I do, but not as many as people that were with the convoy or expressing support.
Were you there?
So this is where I'm kind of I got a dual moment right now. I'm into a duality. Is there that much people that were for supporting the convoy, or how many people were not supporting the convoy? This is my question, and it's a good question that you have.
Were you there?
No, for my part, I was in Montreal, probably having a hard time to find myself a place. So I was more, say, having, I had to put my energy into finding myself a place to live and not to be under other people's expenses, if you want to put it this way. But yeah.
So,
this is what it
so
is.
what do you think about the protesters that put that old lady in a walker and pushed her right up to the front of the line?
I think it's appalling.
Sorry, Kim.
I think that the people who did that should be ashamed of themselves. And that's what I said on my program, as we exposed that as being a fabrication, staged for a photo.
And what do you think? And what do you think, Dragon? You were saying earlier on that an old lady got trampled.
Yeah, what I said is that allegedly, as some people say, that she was trampled, as we had all learned from Peaceman, it was basically staged.
Fake.
So
It's all fake, fake. All to get the photo op, to get the people angry, and the selected social media influencers who are basically being controlled by political groups were all in position and ready to roll, including, if you think about it, there was even an aerial shot. Everybody knew where to be.
The thing is here, and I can't understand, like, Dragon, you're fluent in both official languages. When a police officer tells you to go home, shouldn't you go home?
well, of course, that normally I would probably suggest myself to go home if policemen ask me to, because I never been into trouble with police. I have zero. I got zero files on the police, so yeah. I mean, I would probably stay on the right course, but it's.
So you
It's a
wouldn't have been
difficult question, my
hardcore
friend.
enough to hang in there and protest right till the bitter end, like some people did.
Well, some people were being.
If I would go to protest,
and people were being
if I would go
encouraged
to
to do that
protest,
by a guy with a big red truck and a lawyer with a big bank account and a few other influential people too. So there was that side of it, which is what is involved in that court case, which we're going to get sentencing on. I believe I'm not sure when the sentencing date is on that. Is it the middle of this month or is it September? I can't.
No, it's October, I believe.
October. I'm getting
Yes.
two cases confused. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the barber.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Can thing. I think that's October now.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
before going to a protest, to answer to your question, first thing you do is do your research about who are you protesting with? What is the group that represent that protest? And you get to see if there's something that, do you approach the thing the same way? Are you having the same philosophy or the same ideology? And then from there, it's up to you. But, I consider myself as a non-protester because I never went really to a protest myself, probably once or twice, but it's not one of my major things to do. And I mean, to be quite honest, protest, you need to have a clear message to give. So that's what it is.
Well, for a guy that didn't protest, Dragon, you sure got some pretty strong opinions on what went on.
That's it. That's true. You got to have a strong opinion on why you are doing that protest. What is the message, and basically the strong opinion around it. So yeah.
I'm upset because I've been lied to. I'm finding multiple lies that I've just uncovered over the past few years, bit by bit, slowly dripping. The truth is dripping out. And this is just the latest lie that I've come across. This woman with the walker who didn't need a walker and then as I sat back and I've started to assess these things, it's like, wait a minute, I'm not thinking clearly. I need to look at these things more closely. Why was that woman with the walker right up in front the way she was?
Mm-hmm.
Which, you have to start to look at these things and question it, right? And the answer is she was there because she was in position for the photo op. Because if these were decent human beings and they were really concerned about her welfare, they would have sent her back to the hotel and said, you're not going to be out here. You're too frail. You can contribute in some other way, or just go home. But no, they pat her right up in front.
Or at least send the poor women at the end of the line so she doesn't get trampled on the first front of the line.
And this is something that happened from a group that keeps saying things like, tough times require strong men, blah, 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 or whatever the phrase is, right? And what did they do? They put the most vulnerable people right up in front, a little old lady. Oh, and also First Nations lady, right? How convenient. And with a walker in front, right where the mounted unit is coming through. And then, accidentally on purpose fell over, I guess. And here's how, the other reason I know it's fake is SIU, Special Investigations Unit, investigated. No officers reprimanded. No settlement for that woman. No charges laid against anybody for doing anything. The whole thing just kind of went away after a while. If that had actually been a serious incident, officers would have lost their jobs potentially. But it didn't happen because it didn't happen. Get it?
Yep.
That's why when I started to dig into the history, and then it was like, well, what happened after? Because there are certain processes that happen. And then I went back and I looked, then I started to think, what about those, the reports of the officers and their tweets laughing about it? Now, when I look at those tweets, knowing what I know now, those tweets take on a completely different context. If the officers knew that the whole thing was a ruse and it was just fake, they're laughing about it because they know that it's fake. So they're joking about it because the whole thing is fake. But to the public at that point, when that comes out, it looks like they're laughing about it because they're insensitive and they don't care and they're big, brutal Nazis or something, right? Now, I can't say for sure what was going through the minds of the officers when they were tweeting that stuff out, but in the context of this was a fake thing, then those officers are not as guilty maybe as people think they are of being jerks. Maybe they were laughing about it because they knew it was all fake. But we don't know because there wasn't the investigation was ended. Not very much more came out in public because why? Because the woman didn't get a settlement. There was nothing that happened because it didn't happen, because it was just for the photo op, which Peaceman said the paramedics didn't even really want to take her to the hospital, but she insisted. And why? Because then she's on the stretcher. The video cameras are there ready to roll. There's video out there of her being taken away in the ambulance and on the stretcher. Are you getting it? So this is why I'm upset, because the truth is elusive. It has taken over 3 years to come out, but that lie, it's always just a lie. And even though a lot of people believe it, and that's what John said to me last night. He said it to me many times. I believe this. And I said, but John, sometimes you send me fake sites and stuff. And it's like, but I believe. It doesn't matter what you believe. What matters is what is true. And this is why I'm talking about it tonight, Lori, because everybody needs to know. I know that's the sacred convoy and we're not supposed to criticize it, but that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to preserve the lie of the sacred convoy. I'm here to try to tell you the truth. Whatever the truth is, good, bad, ugly, whatever, that's the based on the information we have now, that's the truth, or the information that's getting us closer to the truth. But we know now that one thing is for certain: we were lied to, and that's always just a lie. If that's a lie, what else can't we believe? The thing that makes me most upset is not that I've been lied to. It's that now I can't trust anything that I've been told about that convoy. I can't trust any of those media people who we know, some of them for sure were aware that that woman wasn't as injured as she said that she was, and yet they reported it anyway. Some of them even said that people died, and that also was a lie. And I've heard that lie told again just within the last month by somebody that I interviewed, and I saw that person on another live stream. Nobody died at the Freedom Convoy. Another lie. But they're saying this stuff even today, and they're using it to destabilize our government. On the U.S. side, they're perpetuating that lie through certain media circles, MAGA, sovereign citizen communities, and it's not true. And it's damaging our country. That's, Lori, why I'm still talking about it, because it's right now, even now, doing damage to Canada. And it's my job here to not let that happen. If I know what the truth is, nobody died at the convoy. Is that fair? Is that okay? Do you see where I'm at with it?
Well, yeah, it's fair with me, but I mean, as I say, this discussion between you and Dragon, and I don't mean any disrespect here, but you guys go down memory lane here the same time about once a week, and we don't factor in what was going on out at the Alberta border. We don't factor out what was going on at Windsor when we had a blockade with our largest trading partner. So it was a lot larger than this love fest that went on in Ottawa.
That's very true. And I think that people would be well served if they would do themselves a favor if they went and found the raw video of the interrogation of Anthony Olenek and watched it front to back, where he confesses to the crime. And yet the lie is he was just an innocent victim, a political prisoner. Go listen to the raw interview with the police. after he was arrested. It's all right there. And that's another uncomfortable truth, another lie, which also for me tells me I can't trust a lot of these other live streamers and media outlets. Sacred Convoy, Sacred Coots protest. No, he was guilty. That's why he went to jail. Guilty. And he admits it. So
you got another caller there, Rick.
Yeah, who else is on the line?
Hi, Rick. You probably don't want to talk to me. It's Brian Howard in Kingston.
I'll talk to you, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what was it like for you when you were in Ottawa or Dragon?
I was live streaming.
Well, I was
constantly
there in Ottawa.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, the problem is that so many of these younger fuckers or younger activists, they're obsessed with the camera. They're all media whores. They seem to act differently when there's a live streamer present or a camera or someone taking photograph. Like she was an older lady with the woman and the horse. What possessed her to get closer and closer? When they're horses, and if they ever watch that video clip, the horses had blinders on.
Have you not been listening to what I just told you? You don't know why she got close to the horse?
Yes, I know. She was kind of pushed and cajoled into going to the pump. Yeah,
she took a fall on purpose for the photo op. That's why.
Yeah.
Political activism.
Well, she's lucky she didn't get killed.
Yeah. For all I know, she had body armor on. Who the hell knows? But it was fake. Fake. As Peaceman showed us with the video that he shot in the hotel room where she walked 4 blocks after without the walker, climbed over a snowbank without the walker to go to the hotel after. No. This is not what we were told it was. Not at all. Anything else you want to talk about tonight? Anything else?
Well, I got to chirp up there on that one there, Rick, and I'll just say, somebody like Peaceman, after he saw what went on with this lady that got run over, why the hell would you hang around Ottawa if everything was as phony as the $3 bill?
Good question, but there's more where that came from. We're working on that. So more lies, I think, to be exposed. As long as, I am tired of talking about the sacred convoy because
I think it's part of the psyops.
Well, I don't want to we need to start focusing more on facts and just start speaking straight up and plain about things, which is why I thought about that. I came up with that phrase in my head this morning. The truth is elusive, but a lie is always just a damn lie. So just start calling it out. If it's a lie, it's a lie. Period. It doesn't matter what you believe. If it's a lie, it's a lie. And that was a lie. So just call it what it is. It's not a psyop. It's not like a false flag, blah, blah, blah. It's a lie. And you can go from there, but it's a lie. And people have been using it to get people angry and upset and to fuel anti-government activity, to radicalize people even. And we're seeing some of that going on right now. Well, I want the truth, good or bad. That's what I said to Brendan when we resurrected the channel. We said we're going to run the live streams, and it didn't matter who did what. If it was good, it was good. If it was bad, if it was bad. If somebody did something wrong, police, protesters, whomever, we would report it as such. That's what I'm doing here right now, years later. But that's because the truth, it always takes the truth a long time to catch up to that lie. In this case, over 3 years. But you deserve to know. You need to know. We all need to know. especially right now. Our country is in jeopardy, and that all ties into this. It's all designed to make us lose faith in our institutions, in the country itself. The integrity of our police undermines trust in government, in policing, in the healthcare system, in everything. And it was a lie. And I've said to these people in the freedom movement that I've come to know, I keep saying to them, don't lie. The truth is bad enough usually, right? What do you need to lie for? If things are really that bad, why do you need to lie? You shouldn't need to lie if things are bad. But no, lie, fabrication, lie. More and more, I keep coming across it, and I'm tired of that. I won't support it. I'm not going to participate. I refuse.
Yeah, I think that's because you have felt that it was I would say the transition of a new era, and you did actually smell that with your, I would say, with your instinct as a journalist. You know, it's like a cops, right? When you smell a crime around you, you kind of see the pattern around.
Actually, I need to apologize because my instincts did not serve me well during the convoy. I made an error. Johnny pointed that out last night. He said, you're not always right about things, Rick. And I believe, well, yeah, he was right about one thing. I'm not always right about things. Sometimes I get stuff wrong. I got that wrong because I was lied to. That doesn't make me stupid. It doesn't make you stupid. What's really stupid and what would be really bad is if I found out that it was a lie and I just continued to live it and repeat it because it kind of fit with what I wanted to believe. That is self-enslavement. No, I will not do it because I don't want to enslave myself. That's self-abuse at that point. No, you got to stand up to it for your own sake. The truth is the truth. I don't want to live a lie, and I won't.
I got no problem with getting to the truth, Rick, but I'm just thinking that, you know, if you were to go out on the street tomorrow and, you know, question the Canadian public about their thoughts on the Freedom Convoy in Ottawa, I mean, how much interest would you get as far as supporting, against, or really don't at this point in time care?
I don't know. On the street, I can tell you this: whenever this subject matter is dealt with online, it generates a lot of views, not just here, but you know, for other streamers. I'm not sure why. It might just be because the algorithms pull in people from the echo chamber, and it's that same group of people. I'm not sure why. But
well, don't you think that when you throw something like this out on the internet, that you end up with a skewed opinion anyway?
Oh, absolutely.
If I was to sit here and listen to you and Dragon go back tonight, I'd be ready to lynch the Liberal government that was in power at the time.
Well, I hope not, because I think the information I've been bringing forward with the help of other people has shown otherwise. And I think that maybe you've misinterpreted Dragon's words, because when he was saying that, you know, allegedly, he was trying to say that we were shown the lie the other night. Is that what you were trying to say,
That's
Dragon? Yeah. It's not that you're trying to.
That's fair to say.
Yeah, you weren't trying to repeat the lie. You were trying to say that we were told the lie.
There's your out, Dragon. Nod.
Yeah, I can see you nodding.
I mean, we all thought that she was trampled for like 3 years now, and now we are learning from Peaceman that she wasn't.
Yeah,
you know, it was all staged. So this is where is this going? where do we need to question ourselves from there?
Well, you got another caller on there, but I'll take another swat here right now.
Sure.
I'd like to know where Peaceman was sleeping over the course of the convoy, and as far as that's concerned, like who was paying for that? What was going on? He didn't have a whole lot on the line there if he didn't have a truck.
He had a vehicle there. I know that. He did have a vehicle. Because I remember him mentioning that a long time ago.
Well, it sounds to me like he was bunking in a hotel room.
Well, he was in a hotel room with that Candace, who was the elderly woman, but I don't think that was his room. I can't say. I can ask him and try and find out. Do you feel that's an important piece of the puzzle? Laurie?
You got another caller on there, Rick.
Yeah. Who else? We've got two callers actually that we haven't spoken to yet. Somebody called in a little earlier. Who just joined us? Who are our two new people?
Sharon from Manitoba.
Sharon, and who else? Norfa?
Isabel.
Welcome back, both to both of you.
Somebody on your call tonight, everybody's saying it in the chat, has an echo. They think it's Laurie.
We're hearing feedback. Feedback is, I can hear Rick's repeating the question. I can see other callers or guests hearing their statements repeated.
Yeah.
Have I got an echo, guys?
Yeah, I've got an echo here, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little hard to...
Okay, well, I'll hang up then, guys. Good night.
Thank you, Laurie, for calling in. I appreciate it.
Good night, Laurie.
Bye now.
I just have one small statement before I go.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder where the lie stops and the truth begins.
Yes, that's exactly right. I appreciate you saying that, because once you're told a lie, now you can't really trust anything that you're being told by whoever told you the lie, right?
Well, we were all in a panic. That poor woman got run over.
Or so it seemed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody went, oh my God.
But it's a recurring thing, right? Like if you look back over the last few years, look at the news coverage, look at these protests, look at how many times do we see people from Rebel News run or walk into a protest and get arrested or get assaulted, or see these independent live streamers I'll do the exact same thing. Or you go to a drag queen story time protest, and what do? They go right over to the other protesters and get right up in their faces. Like I've said before, if you're there to cover the news or cover the story, like in all the years I've worked as a journalist, I've never been arrested or assaulted.
Well, that truck's got to be expensive.
Yeah.
Rick, you made 3 points, whether you said it or someone else said it, that left out at me. But what you said resonated. One point is, why so much pushback against Peaceman? Why is there such resistance to what he's presenting? That's one. That one tells me a lot. Second point you've made, and it sticks with me, is why, if 2 points you made just now. This is something we've never gone through or experienced before on a national level, a protest. And what do protests accomplish? Really, basically, nothing. I think you've mentioned this in past shows, where if you really want to make a change, you do it legislatively. You do it through the courts, you do it through our parliament. So protests feel good, and they may bring national attention. But if you get down to the bolts and the nuts and bolts of things to make change, we have to go. One has to go the route of sweat and labor, and you work at it. And the other thing too that rings true for me is when you're going to attend, or if you're going to be part of a protest and things are getting escalated, when I don't know what type of police were there, and I don't care. But if you're having a really strong police presence and people are not listening as a group, as a whole, and the government is trying to maintain order and stability, you don't put any women or children in the front lines. You put men. That's my view.
That's exactly right. And I was not thinking clearly back at that time. Neither
was
about
I.
it. But yeah, now when I look at it, like if I had been in charge or helping there or something, I would have said, no, what are you doing over there, little old lady? You go over there, be safe, because that's the way you run things, right? But no, that's not what they did, because they wanted the photo op.
Exactly. So that's what's telling me. And again, I may have mentioned this before, but that's what's kind of revolting to me, that certain people, certainly not all, but certain groups and certain people don't really give a
don't care
a
about
flip.
Yep,
So
don't care. They don't care about us. they want power, or they want money, they just want to they want something, but it certainly isn't a solution.
Yeah, and Lori had a good question about Peace Man, but I think what you said over the past few days, not just recently, but before. So he's alone here. He's gone through, I'm sure, a lot of criticism and backlash and insults and everything. So that tells me in itself, why is he standing up still? Why would he want to go through all of this abuse? What for? So I think here's a maybe an answer to my own question. If you're standing up for truth, there are sacrifices and you will suffer. So maybe that's an indicator for me to stop and pay attention to someone who's speaking, because from what I've heard so far, I don't think he's Peace Man in ways had the greatest experience at times. So bravo to him. And I'm really glad you had him on the show. I'm really glad that you provided his perspective, his real on the ground, in person, with camera, like you said, documents and other forms of evidence to make his case. And Rick, he's not an idiot, and neither are you. So it's hard. He has to prove to you what he's saying is valid or credible, like you said, and vice versa. And I applaud. I applaud him.
I can tell you that the experience I've been having with Peace Man has unfolded over years, and just this piece of information, he has so much material.
See, there you go. That tells me something too.
He floods me with stuff, and I think, and that's where my role ultimately was here. I had to take this huge amount of material that he sent to me and find the needle in the haystack, because he's focused on the charges, the law, the players, the process, like all these legal things. And I think that I know that he has trouble focusing or finding what was actually the most important thing. And this was the most important thing. And he actually, it was sort of inadvertent that he even brought this information out. And I was like, wait a minute, what's that? And he sent it to me, and he said, well, do you want that story? Yeah, that's really important. And there's more stuff. We will show it to people. And believe me, folks, I take no pleasure in tearing down the sacred convoy. I was as upset as anybody, but I will not live a lie. You shouldn't either.
I'm going to get off the horn, Rick, but I just wanted to pipe in and just say a few things. And I think what you said to me recently, or to all of us, is our democracy at risk? You bet your butt it is.
It is.
That's what I'm thinking. 100%. And I'm always now that I've spoken with you and Dragon recently, as opposed to messaging and what they want, whoever they is want me to think. And I think it was very helpful to realize that if you do have on the ground credible sources and not just the video, but where you can validate and provide evidence, that goes a long way with me. And so as you pointed that out, that helped to clarify a lot for me. And I'll always keep that in mind in the future, whatever story is presented. But I think you're a really good place to check things out with. Thanks, Rick.
Can you stay? Are you able to stay?
Yeah, okay, I will.
You know why? Because I am going to show people something, and I'd like to have you here. when I get to get your comments on this.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Let me just, I'm going to see if I can get John on the line here, because this is related to something that we talked about last night. So he can join us this way if I can get him on. Hang on here. And there's his phone number. Let's get him up. This is pretty, this is, you're going to see. You're going to see. You wait. You just wait. Maybe a pickup. Maybe not. If not, I'll show you anyway. He's gonna enjoy this.
Hello.
Hey, it's Rick.
Oh.
Just so you know, we're on the air. Is that okay? Because I want to show you something.
Yeah, I just woke up. I was listening to you. I passed out.
Oh, okay. You can call in if you want, or we can just do it this way. But I want to show you something.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, we're just going to talk this way?
Yeah, I see you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, John, I've got Dragon and Sharon on the line. I want to, last night, overnight you sent me that video with Richard Wolff, the economist, right?
Yeah, right.
The Epstein stuff. You were talking about last night. Can you just, to frame this up, tell us about that video of the Epstein thing and economist Richard Wolff talking about it? What was that about?
Richard Wolff, didn't you see it?
I did. I watched it, but I want you to tell people what it was about because you sent it to me. And while you do that, I'm going to bring the video up on the screen here because it was very interesting. Because you said yesterday that the Russians have dirt on Trump and Epstein stuff, and then you sent me that one. So can you just, while I click on things, can you just explain to people what it was?
I don't remember. I watched it today, but yeah. You saw you about Trump there, anyways.
Yeah, and Epstein, right?
It's about Trump. Yeah, he's. I don't know. Play it so I can remember. I watched so many today. I don't remember.
There it is. Okay, I've got the tab. I've just got so many here, but this is very interesting. Hang on, John from Alberta is joining here too. I'll just let him into the chat. Hey, John from Alberta. Hello, how are you? Just hang on, John. I've got Johnny from Toronto on here too. Okay.
Hello, Mr. John from Alberta.
All right, let's bring this up. So, what's up, John? Yeah, so this was about this book, right? That was written. This is what Richard Wolff was commenting on. Right here.
Yeah, I like that Wolff guy. He's good.
Yeah, you like him. I'm not. Sometimes he says stuff that I think is of value, but I'm not stuck on him. He's a Marxist, so he's very much about controlled economy, state-controlled economy. Anyway, so I'm going to run some of this video for people, and hang on. Here we go. Sorry, I'm just trying to get it queued up here, John. Almost there. So people can understand what we're talking about here. First of all, right there. And share. Now he's up on the screen, or should be. So there's economist Richard Wolff. So just out of curiosity, this wasn't the video that you were talking about when you said the Russians had dirt on Trump. This is another one you sent me, right? This is unrelated. John? Are you eating something?
No, that was yeah. I couldn't find much on that.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. Could be fake news.
Anyway, I'm gonna let just a minute of this roll with Richard Wolff.
Yeah, I like this guy. This guy's he's a smart guy.
Here we go.
Let's take a deep breath, because what we are seeing unfold slowly, relentlessly, is not just another tabloid drama. No, this is the reemergence of something far deeper, far more disturbing. It is the exposure of elite impunity, the kind that transcends borders, that operates quietly in the shadows of diplomacy, power, and global wealth. And now the United Kingdom, with its long tradition of monarchy, secrecy, and scandal management, has inadvertently ripped the bandage off a wound many hoped would quietly fade into history. This week, documents from a respected royal historian, Andrew Lowy, tied to his serialized investigative book, The Rise and Fall of the House of York, have hit the public sphere. These aren't rumors, they're sourced, cross-examined, and published by major outlets like the Daily Mail, a tabloid, yes, but not a paper that would risk defamation on flimsy evidence involving two of the world's most legally armored men, Donald Trump and Prince Andrew. So what do we have here? According to these newly published excerpts, there was a disturbing.
Okay.
Tied to his serialized investigative book,
We'll let this, the delay catch up here.
Hit the public sphere. These aren't rumors, they're sourced,
Boy, there's a
cross-examined,
lot of
and
delay.
published by major outlets like the Daily Mail, a tabloid, yes, but not a paper that would risk defamation on flimsy
We'll have to
evidence
let this
involving
catch
two of the world's most legally armored men, Donald Trump and Prince Andrew. So, now I remember.
Yeah.
According to these newly published excerpts, there was a disturbed. Okay.
Okay, you got to turn your audio down there now for a minute, John.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what did you take away from that one? Trump in trouble?
Well, he's talking how much of a bullshitter he is, and yeah, it's interesting. It's a good one. I like it. This one was pretty interesting. Yeah. No.
Well, what if I told you it's fake?
I don't know. This guy's been around. I don't think he's. I know you don't like him. That's the thing, eh?
Well, I'm not a huge Richard Wolff fan. I respect him. He is an economist. He's a Marxist, no doubt. Which is why I just don't agree with a lot of his economic thinking. Okay, but this is BS.
And how do you know it's fake, Rick?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know. You see,
I think it looks like an AI.
Okay, hang on a second here, Dragon.
I may be wrong.
You're Dragon. Just if you can just wait for a moment while I talk to John. Remember last night, John, how I told you a lot of times you just send stuff that isn't true, that it's not reliable, not credible. This is why I was pointing stuff out to you last night, and we've had
the whole interview. It was 20 minutes or something.
Oh yeah. I know. I don't need to play the whole 20 minutes. I'm going to show you something. This is BS. Now, the information, some of it is truthful. There is a book that's coming out. They don't have the information from the book yet because it hasn't been released yet. Now, unless they got an advanced manuscript of it, which is possible, but I doubt that whoever put this out has that manuscript. This is complete crap, but you don't believe me, do you?
I don't think he's telling. I think he's not making this up. And I know Prince Andrew was involved pretty deep in the Epstein files.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, this is really a really solid blow to Western governments when you think about it, because it's a book that's coming out with apparently credible sources. It slams the monarchy and the royal family and the U.S. government and Donald Trump, which is extremely convenient for our Russian friends and their allies. And this is Richard Wolff, an American economist. He's no fan of the U.S. government or the way the U.S. economy is run. And I'm telling you that this is crap.
I'm going to listen to it again, the whole show.
I'm going to show you something. Because this is the road that you and I go down many times. When I keep telling you, John, you keep sending it's not what you choose to believe, John. It's what is true, because the truth is elusive. A lie is just a damn lie, period. This whole thing with Richard Wolff is a lie. Let me show you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, you're going to have to see it on screen. I don't think the people here in our in our call and we'll be able to see this. If you guys want to understand what I'm talking about, you're going to have to look on your video screen. This whole video is fake. You know, I was watching it, and as a media guy, see, I have a different perspective on media. I see things in media that other people don't see. When I went to journalism school, they told all of us as students, you will never listen to the radio, watch a movie, look at video the same way again. You will look at it differently than all the other people in the world because you work with it, because you're immersed in it. When I saw this video, there was something about it. And I was like, this isn't right. I know a lot about video production, a lot. And I'm going to show you something now, John, to show you that I am not full of crap the way that you kind of portrayed. Here we go. All right, here we go. This video, Dragon's quite right. It's artificial intelligence. This is not Richard Wolff at all. I looked at it and I said, there's something wrong with this. And then I went to the channel and that this comes from, and I found a series of videos of Richard Wolff that look entirely authentic. And I thought, when you look at them very, very carefully, I'm going to run just a little bit more of it. If you look at it very carefully, there are glitches in it, like little edits, about every 30, 40 seconds.
Conversation in the early 2000s between Trump and Prince Andrew, two men who were at the time active players in a social world increasingly defined by Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. What's especially troubling is that this wasn't just small talk.
You maybe Trump not picking up on it here, but it's there. There's just little glitches. It just bothered my eyes as bad as they are. And I was like, there's something wrong with this. And whatever John sent me is bullshit. I can just tell. So here's what I did, John. I went to the YouTube channel and I found all the videos on the channel. And there are a series of them. You know what I noticed? He only ever wears 2 or 3 shirts. They're always these ones here against a similar background all the time. I'm going to show you now this video. I downloaded two videos where he's wearing the same shirt. And watch his head. The facial expressions will change, but watch the head, watch the timing. Look at this.
About responsible spending or partisan disagreement view like a political time the media, as always, floods you with distractions, pointless culture wars, political theater, manufactured scandals, but they won't touch the core issue. And here it is. The American government, under both Democrats and Republicans, has built an economy on theft from the poor and the middle to fund the insatiable appetite of the rich. The most glaring example, Donald Trump's 2017 tax cut bill. That bill was not just a transfer of wealth, it was a declaration of allegiance. To whom? Corporations and the...
Did you get that?
I'm watching it.
Is it me or I see a double cat or in the Matrix, right? It's a glitch in the Matrix here.
It's not a glitch in the Matrix, man. Look at it, John. Look at it. 2 different videos, 2 different audio tracks, and the head moves exactly the same at exactly the same time.
I don't understand what you're saying, though.
Oh my God. It's a computer generated Richard Wolff.
Really? Yeah?
So what the system does is the head moves in a sequence. The facial expressions, the computer changes. The lips, they have lip syncing technology. So the lips are synchronized with what he says. The voice is also computer generated. I can tell when I really listen to it, I can hear the digitization, the artifacting it's called, in the voice. So this proves, I'll run it again. This is completely fake. This is not Richard Wolff.
About responsible spending or partisan disagreement. View like it's a political not. The media, as always, floods you with distractions, pointless culture wars, political theater, manufactured scandals, but they won't touch one of the most notorious predators. And here it is: the American government, under both Democrats and Republicans, has built an economy on theft from the poor and the middle to fund the insatiable appetite of the rich. The most glaring example: Donald Trump's 2017 tax cut bill. That bill was not just a transfer of wealth, it was a declaration of allegiance. To whom? Corporations and the...
It's the same thing, with the only variation really being the facial expressions on the lips. Do you understand?
I'm gonna have to watch it again, and
I just proved it to you, man.
Yeah, but I gotta watch the video.
Yeah. So this is fake. Do you not believe me?
It could be.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it is.
I'll look for the fakeness, but I have to watch it again.
Yeah. It's so this, John, is why these conversations that I have with you, where you get, dug in your heels, and I'm saying, John, it's not true. John, it's not true. John. And yes, it is. And often you send me links and you say, I believe this, and this is the video. Or when I give you a counter argument, you just go and find a video of somebody else saying the same thing that is the lie. And then I'm saying, but John, that's not true. Here's the proof. And then you say, yeah, but this guy says it is. It doesn't matter how many people repeat the lie. It's a lie. Now, the information in this, there is some truth in it. But I'm telling you that they don't have all the information that this thing is predicated on because the book hasn't been released yet. So he's making all these claims. In a second, he's making all these claims. He's smearing Trump, which, I think he kind of deserves it, right? But I want truth. I want Donald Trump held accountable for truthful things on facts, not through propaganda, not through a fabrication, not through an artificial Richard Wolff. And I'm pretty damn sure that Richard Wolff didn't approve this. This is not Richard Wolff. I bet you, I'm very certain Richard Wolff has nothing to do with this channel. Richard Wolff has nothing to do with this at all. What do you think, John?
I'm going to watch it again and observe what you're telling me.
So you're still skeptical of what I'm telling you?
Yeah, because I have to watch it again.
Well, how much further do you want me to go? How about, are these guys still up on the screen? Or did I lose you? Are you still seeing me?
Yeah, I see you.
Okay.
I'm there. Sounds off, yeah.
The sound's off. Hang on. I think I lost you guys on the screen here, though.
See, I don't hear... I'm on the other phone, so I don't hear the background.
All right, you know what? I've got multiple of the studios up. Okay, so we're still up. Hang on. I'll prove it to you even more.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, so I dug and I dug. Now they don't put this information up front, okay, where you're going to see it, because they don't want you to know that this is. Hang on, they don't want people to know that this is not actually Richard Wolff. They want you to think that it is. So they don't tell you in the description. But in order for legality, for their main channel here, I found this.
Well, just post a link on your thing.
I'm gonna do better than that, man.
And watch it themselves.
I'm gonna do better than that.
Exactly what you're saying, so people understand that it's fake.
It's right here. Can you see that on the screen? Let me show this. Is everybody still able to see me? Because there's something going on with the system again. Here. No, this it's like it's taking the video off the screen. Can you still see everybody in the chat there, John?
Not now. I just see you.
Okay, yeah, that's the problem.
back on. Here we go. All right, can you give it a second? I should pop back up. Okay, I'm going to show you. And there we go. We should come back online. All right.
Behind the economy. That's what.
All right, so you should see this. I'm showing you this thing on the screen now. Too many of these. Okay. Can you see me now? Can you see? And can you see you guys?
Not yet. Give it a few moments because I kind of have a few seconds of.
Yeah.
There we go. We're back online.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is the one that I need.
One
Okay, so I'm
the thing
going to close that one. And we're back online with this one. Okay.
We're on.
We're back on. I do apologize for the black, everybody. I don't know. Okay. You guys saw what I was showing everybody, though, right? With the head nodding and all that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you understand. And John's still skeptical, thinks that maybe I'm not telling the truth. I'm telling you, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. So
Consider the source. Consider the source.
Right here. Welcome to Behind the Economy. This is the description of their channel, uncovering the truth behind global economics. It says right here that videos are created using AI-generated content. And it's inspired by thinkers like Richard Wolff.
Oh.
It's not Richard Wolff.
Consider the source, John.
Do you believe me now?
I'm going to rewatch that video.
Jesus. He just won't admit that I'm right.
Stubborn.
He sent me this overnight. I watched it in
John.
good faith. I'm like, wait a minute. This is what John and I were talking about last night, how he often sends me stuff from basically fake news sites or fake sites. And I'm like, and he's like, oh, you're not right all the time, Rick. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I don't lie. Now, overnight, he sends me another one. Absolutely 100% fake video. It's not the right guy. It looks like the guy. They're faking it. They make it look like it's this economist who's well known, Richard Wolff. It's not him. They imitate his voice. They make you think it's him. I prove to you that these videos are AI generated, which I went to a lot of work today to match this up. And I went, wait a minute, if I take this one and all these are the same, I can show you that there are only subtle differences because they're regenerating it to pattern. So I picked
Rick,
up
do
that.
me a favor.
Yeah.
Can you repeat what you just read? Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, sure. It's right here. It says through in-depth lectures, interviews, blah, 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 right? This is right here. It says it's inspired by thinkers like Richard D. Wolff. And right down here, it says that these videos are created using AI-generated content.
In black and white.
It's right there on their channel.
Yep.
They're telling you, and John still is not believing me. He's still, I don't know about that, Rick. Like, dude, it's right there. They're telling you.
It revived to my question. It revolved to my question. Did you kind of decipher at the first moment of the video? The guy speaks on a monotone tone.
It's right there in front. Can you not just admit that I'm right?
Let me watch it again.
It's okay to be wrong, Johnny.
It's not even, John. It's not even that you're wrong, John. It's just that I'm pointing out to you that the technology is sophisticated. A lot of people are not media savvy enough, right?
The link online there. People can watch it themselves later.
Johnny, it doesn't feel good, Johnny.
People will know that it's AI generated.
Yeah. Okay.
So
you're not alone, Johnny. It doesn't feel good.
You're doing, if you're accurate.
I'm pretty
I'm
good.
not saying you're wrong, though. That's the thing. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Okay.
I'm not saying. I'm glad you're pointing this stuff out.
Yes, everybody should know.
Yeah.
Because why are they doing this? Why are they posting a video about how, it's Epstein and kids and the monarchy and the U.S. government and Trump? Because it's a foreign government. That's probably who is behind this. Now, that I'm not sure about, but you can see the agenda at work here. And the information in that video that they're saying they have, they're not really giving you the information on the book. The book hasn't been released. I went and checked. It's coming out later this month, not for about another week and a half.
Well,
they're getting out in front.
They're on Trump right now on the internet.
Yeah.
It's nonstop.
I know it's nonstop, and they're on it too. And what did I say last night? I said one of the reasons I think that we're getting all of this anti-Trump and the Epstein stuff and this big information, this Epstein push, right? The avalanche. Part of it is because it's Russian driven, partly because Trump's not doing what Putin wants him to do. He's pivoted. So he is now he's going to let Ukraine buy the weapons that Putin was hoping he would just stop sending altogether, because they had that whole campaign, which you've participated in, saying Ukraine's corrupt and MAGA, and we're not going to fund that war. And Putin has been banking on that, thinking that all that public pressure, and it was true, it was coming to bear. It came to bear, and they cut the arms shipments off twice. Hegseth. But now it's like the EU, Ukraine, they've made deals, and they said, well, just let us buy the weapons, then we'll pay you whatever you want. And not to mention the minerals deal that Trump now has, where he basically has held Ukraine for ransom, and it's like, okay, we'll give you half of all of our sovereign wealth through our minerals. But now sending the weapons, Putin doesn't want him to sell those weapons, so they're going to take them out. So it's the Epstein file time. That's part of what's going on, and the Democrats are just benefiting from what Trump used to benefit from, which is the pro-Russian or the Russian propaganda machine, which helped get Trump elected. Now that same propaganda machine is working overtime to destroy him. And there may be truth to it, or maybe there isn't. We're not sure what the truth is, but I do know this. The truth is elusive, and this is just a lie.
I think Trump is a lie.
He's a lie too. He lies about a lot of stuff. No question about that. And my hat goes off to you. I'm glad you acknowledged that at least last night. I just wish you could acknowledge that. I just wish you could acknowledge, even now, like, you guys, help me out here. What more do I have to show people?
It's, I agree.
And see the. I think it's an interesting video, even if it's fake.
Jesus! Oh my God! John. The other point here is you can't trust that video.
Exactly.
You can't. The video has no value because they're lying to you from the beginning. So you can't trust it. You couldn't put that in a court of law. I can't use that on the program here to say, this is proof, but you're sending it to me again. Well, look at this one. This proves it. No, it doesn't prove anything. And I've just proven to you that it's not real. And John can't hear you guys because he's on this phone. Okay. That's why he's.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, do that because then these guys can interact with you, and I can.
I just wanted to.
He's gonna call in.
I just wanted to let Johnny know.
Yeah.
Okay,
you call in, John. Yeah, you call in right now, and then these guys can talk to you. Okay, bye.
I just wanted to let Johnny know.
Because I got an answer for him.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, this is where it is.
it's okay to admit that you've been duped, because you're not alone. It's not a good feeling. It's kind of it's not a good feeling, and it kind of leaves one questioning everything, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to look for or seek credible sources, and I find coming to this site helps clear up or it gives a lot of good perspective. And I just appreciate that Ricky made an important point. I didn't realize how important it was and still is, but the fact that Trump is withdrawing and isolating is very concerning, because the U.S. is the world's policeman as far as trying to not make things worse, or like you said, if there's a vacuum, God knows what's going to step in. So for the sake of world security, stability, and without blowing everyone up, I hope he re-engages with the world.
I hope so too, because this is very destabilizing.
It is.
And look what's happened already. We're closer to nuclear war than we've ever been before. And this with the president who promised he was going to be a peace president. And it's the opposite, because he's doing all these crazy things and withdrawing. Okay, so is that you, John?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
All right, so you guys can interact. What do you want?
Difference. I can hear the background now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'll explain to you something shortly, John. Okay, and careful with the word that I'm gonna use here. Okay, because it's gonna be good word. You gotta look into what kind of echo chamber you look at, because what you're being getting at, basically, it's that you revolving around the same loop of information that keeps coming back. And this is what we call echo chamber. A little bit like what we have in the different channels on Rumble, on the chat, right? Those are two different echo chamber. Make sense?
The what? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Echo chambers. Well, you should look it up then. Make a research on Google. Just look it up.
I'm not a journalist, man. I'm just a hack.
Johnny, I was just saying to Rick, it's not a good feeling to realize that all the videos and all the news shorts or programs or interviews or documentaries or film, what's really hit home to me is that, especially now with AI, it's really important to question or just to, and I've said this before, to let it go in one ear out the other, but I think what cemented it for me as far as credible information or verifying credible information is the source of the material credible and professional, and is it on the ground? Are people being interviewed in real time or in person, and it's not AI generated? It's good to question. It's good to, and there's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I think I was snowed over here, and it's a good wake up call. I think Stoic Teacher referred to this the other day. Really important point. It's really important to get this is a wake up call for me. These past few conversations, like over the week, has made me really stop and think about what am I ingesting in my brain? And for me, though, personally, it's good to be centered in something bigger than myself. But go ahead, Johnny.
Don't believe everything you hear, eh?
Exactly.
That's what you're saying. But I posted the link. You guys can watch it after the show and make your own opinion. I'm gonna rewatch it again.
But again, this is the point that I made earlier in the program. This isn't about an opinion. This is about a lie.
Yeah.
The truth is elusive. Your opinion doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you believe. A lie is just a lie, John. A lie. It doesn't matter if it came from a.
There's an expression.
Even if the lie, this is the trick that these governments are using, including the Russians.
So you're blaming the Russians now.
I'm talking about all these governments. They all do this. I
know you hate the Russians so much, but what about the Democrats?
They all do it, Johnny.
Could be the Democrats.
What they do, what they often do, is they put the lie out there on these fake sites, and if they can trick someone with the lie, especially another media outlet like me, with they've tried to do it to me, frankly, to then share that here, and then they hope
I'm
that it
glad
gets
you
picked
picked
up.
this up, because now
Right.
I'm going to rewatch it, and I'm going to watch it more closely.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look for those clues that you mentioned.
And see, but it's still a lie. So when they take a lie, if they can get somebody with some credibility, if they can trick
Prince
them,
Andrew was involved. He was deep. He was
man,
deep. I've seen pictures all over the internet.
Just stop.
Right. That's what I'm going to look for. Exactly. The glitches, yeah. Well, people do edit videos after they produce them.
See, there's your source, Johnny. There's your source right there. He's not a newcomer to the scene in media, production and media. He's a professional. He's been at it for over 30.
Oh yeah,
30,
I know.
So consider the source. I'm not saying that, there's not other great sources, but in this instance, I mean, I would respectfully, take that into consideration. That's all I'm saying. And the fact that, Johnny, Rick researched even further to dig up and show you.
Has that video had? I'm gonna go back inside and I'm gonna see how
They
many
even
views.
state that it's not factual.
Yeah, he said that. Yeah.
In black and white letter, in words that they stated, not Rick, what Rick said, but what they said themselves.
Yep. I hear you.
Okay, thank you.
But I'm gonna see how many views that thing is generated. Like, I'm not the only one watching
But
it.
it doesn't matter how many views, my friend.
Where the hell is my phone?
The only
Here.
thing that it matters is how many can believe in it and make themselves basically being manipulated by this method, which is completely false. And I'm not as good as Rick to look at glitches, but in video games, they have the same glitches. So I'm sorry, but yeah.
Is John from Alberta still on the line? Still here?
1.4K thumbs up on it. 223 comments. 10,000 views. Holy shit. Well, that's not a lot, but thumbs down. I don't know how many thumbs down. Oh, 1.4K.
Okay.
I don't know. 41,559 views. It was posted 23 hours ago. Justice for Saviors. Who the fuck are they? More. What's more? Let's see more here. Here we go. It's got 41,000 views.
I know. That's the tragedy of this, right?
1,500 likes.
Yeah, that's the tragedy of this. Is
Trump
people are watching
UK
this.
files.
There may be truth in it,
Reveals
but it's fake.
Epstein
Thing is
secrets.
fake.
Well,
are you able
exposes.
Can you guys hear me at all?
A 5-part series. Economist.
Can you guys hear me?
Richard Wolf breaks down.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah,
it's odd.
I can hear you.
Okay. I know I'm having mic problems. Okay. Arthur says we can hear him. They can hear me now. All right.
Richard Wolf reveals the truth.
Yeah, except it ain't Richard Wolf.
Cross-border immunity strategy. There's a lot of information on here.
Yeah, I know, John.
Justice for Savior.
I've proven to you. I proved it to you, and we're still having this conversation.
Who's Justice for Savior files? We encourage viewers who research questions and verify. That's what Rick's doing. Rick caught him in a lie.
The whole thing is a lie. The whole channel's a lie.
Expressed are part
the whole
of
thing's a lie.
Dramatization.
It's not even Richard Wolf.
Public interest topics. Yeah.
You know, the first thing that I found odd about it, John, is that Richard Wolff doesn't comment too much on that stuff. That's not really in his wheelhouse. He's an economist. He talks about social things and politics, but this stuff, he wouldn't normally like focus on it. That was my first clue that made me look at it closer. And then I just kept digging and looking, and it was like, something's not right. And then I started looking.
I agree with this part. If you're tired of cover-ups, if you believe the powerful must be held accountable,
then you should go elsewhere for your information,
now,
because
they're
not transparent, and they're not honest with you.
Well,
so
I'm tired of the cover-ups, and I'm tired of the powerful. You know, these guys get away with murder. All these powerful.
See, but there's also the flaw in your methodology. You can't approach information with that kind of bias instantly, because you're looking for something in a particular way. You're looking for confirmation, bias confirmation instantly. You can't do that because then you just go around watching stuff that makes you think that you're right, or that just fits with what you believe. But it doesn't matter what you believe. It only matters the only thing that matters is what's true. Truth is elusive, and this is just a lie.
He's saying that Prince Andrew.
But the information is not credible, because the book hasn't even been released yet, and all the information he's releasing in that video is supposed to be from the book.
And the book is what has been going on.
Not the list.
The book hasn't been released,
there's
but we've
a new
seen
book being
parts
published
of the book
by
online.
an author that hasn't been. It's not even out yet. It doesn't come out until I think the 14th. They don't even have the book.
Well, you guys have to watch it yourself and see. But
no, I don't. You don't have. Actually, you don't have to watch it. I did it for you. I showed you. If you want to go watch it, go watch it. Johnny gave you the link. If you want to go,
I'm gonna watch it again.
You go immerse yourself in that, and
it's only 20 minutes.
And then you can believe whatever you want.
Out of my life.
Viruses aren't real, or viruses are real. You know, I believe this. I choose to believe in that. I want to believe that video. And no, dude, it's like the video is fake. You're watching. So it's not even real. It's not not Richard Wolff.
So Prince Andrew has nothing to do with this.
I didn't say that.
Well, yeah, you're saying it's not true.
Wait.
I'm saying the information.
You're saying it's not true.
I'm saying you can't take that information and give it any weight or credibility, because I've shown you that they've basically made this stuff up. There may be truth in it, but there's no way for you to be certain, because they've lied to you from the very beginning, not only about what's in the video, but about what the video is. They've lied to you about who it is. It's not Richard Wolff. They've lied to you about his voice. It's not his voice. Richard Wolff didn't say these things. And they're saying that this information in the script that they've had this AI generated bot produce, they're saying that this is all information coming from this book, and they quote the author, but the book hasn't been released.
The only question I got to say to you, that video is pure bunkers. It's not true. It's fake.
I'm saying
nothing's real about it, right?
I'm saying you can't trust it, because from the very beginning, they're not being honest with you.
Who is being honest with us today?
Johnny, wait, Johnny. I had earlier this week asked Rick a whole bunch of questions, and I can't remember exactly how you said it, Rick, before I felt like I got a flick to the side of my temple, where it was like, oh, boing, the light bulb went on. And I can't remember exactly how you said it, where you were saying that I was being fed information, messaging. It just came about where I was thinking or just, I was talking about all these different programs and shows and looking for, the opposition view. And I can't remember exactly how do you remember what you said where you were making a point where, despite what information I was going through on the internet of things, or, that in itself, what I was looking at in itself was not of my own revelation or of my own, intellect. It was being fed to me. Can you state it a little bit differently? I think I'm with you, Johnny. I was thinking the same things,
Hey,
but
what's your name again? Sorry.
Sharon.
Sharon.
Yeah.
Are you
From
on
Manitoba.
here?
Pardon me?
Here? Are you on here on the chats?
Yes.
Under what? You sound like a cool chick.
I'm under 115 Sharon, 115 Sharon.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll look for you. Yeah.
But Rick, do you understand what I'm saying?
Not exactly.
You
you kind of lost me.
Okay, darn it. Well, the main point I was picking up was whatever I'm looking at, whatever I'm listening to, whatever I'm reading, just to question the message itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just to look at, why am I being fed this, or why is this being pointed out now?
This
that type of thing.
This really strikes at the heart of everything that is going on right now, because what's really happening out there is it's a program, it's a strategy that is really being used, especially by Russia, because of the philosophy of Alexander Dugin I've talked about. It goes and the philosophy of like Heidegger and others. It's about questioning reality. It's about they want you see, they can use, you can make people, if you can make people believe some things, it becomes real.
Yeah.
That's what this is partly about. This is and what they've done here is based on that philosophy, which is you create something, especially now with AI. So this philosophy, which is ages old, but it's coming to the forefront now in use in political strategy, military strategy, where you have one of the most effective ways to disarm the enemy is to make them question even the very reality that they live in, the reality of their country.
And what's so scary about all this, sorry, Rick, what's so scary about about this is the speed of this technology. It's the speed of information. I have no time to stop and think or reflect about what I'm being fed.
And so this is why with John from Toronto, when we're having these conversations, this is why we're bashing heads, because he's like, my reality can be whatever I want it to be. I just believe this, therefore it is. But it's not like, it's not true. If you can believe it, but it's still a lie. You can believe that that's Richard Wolff if you want to, but it isn't. And the problem here is that you shouldn't be trusting that information. I'm not saying that everything in there is wrong, but I'm telling you, it's not possible for them to have the information that they're giving you in the way that they're giving it to you, because they couldn't have the information yet that they're saying that they're giving you, because the book hasn't even been published, like sold out in the market yet. And they've lied to you from the beginning. So you should be questioning that and saying, wait a minute, I'm not going to trust this source, as Sharon said. I'm going to go someplace else to get my information on this subject matter. A more credible source. And it doesn't matter if 50 or 1,000 or how many people watch that video, 40,000. Now you've got 40,000 people out there saying, did you watch that Richard Wolff video where he said XYZ about Epstein and Trump and the royal family? It's a lie. Doesn't matter if 40,000 people say it. It's still a lie. Even if in the minds of people like yourself, John, people might think it's true. And therefore it becomes true in your mind, but it's still a lie. And
over the decades, have we lost our ability to reason or to use common sense or logic? Has that purposely been diminished? Or, it's almost as if we've, I think it's, for me, what leaps out at me is just the speed of this change and how insidious it is.
This is vital. What I'm showing you tonight is so important. if John, if you do not embrace what I'm telling you tonight, you are doomed. We are all doomed if people don't wake up to this, because if people don't become media savvy enough, and if people are not willing to demand of themselves truth.
I'm reading the comments on this.
Then you are doomed to live a lie and live in
no one is saying it's AI generated. I will be sharing. Yeah, it's thank you for speaking out, Professor. You're the only one. You should be on here saying it's AI generated. How thick do you look at this? Both trying to get their story straight. Evil pairs. I don't know, but I don't see anything here.
Wait, so now you're taking a poll in Rumble
Excellent
Chat
commentary
to see to decide if it's real or if it isn't, and based on the poll, you're going to decide if it's true or not. Doesn't matter what the consensus is, John.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And just because you're over on the haters channel, and in order to hate me more, they've decided to be contrarians.
Look at the comments here.
I don't want to. I don't care to. I don't care.
Great reporting.
You know what, John? That's one thing.
Doesn't matter
when you have someone.
I don't see any bad negative comments here on this.
Whatever. It doesn't matter what the comments are. I'm just sharing. It's verifiable facts. It's the truth. If you choose, to ignore it, then that's your choice. But that's then you're doomed. You're doomed.
Frank says he never mentioned Mossad.
When someone tells you to look at all the 25K reports of 5 stars report on our site and stuff like that, when they tell you something like that, question yourself. Is those people that report the 5 stars work for them and just are making like the thing look good for themselves, or are they legit people that are really
all thumbs out?
Supporting what the service offered by the company or not. Same goes with media.
I don't see any negative comment. Go ahead.
Johnny, and also too, and I think this is Rick's brought this up before, but he could easily like InfoWars or other platforms where they've kind of sacrificed reality or truth or credibility for a buck. I mean, Rick could have made his channel as salacious and as entertaining and as provocative and stirring up a crazy emotion and make it entertaining and exciting for those people drawn to that type of platform or news. But I'm not looking for that, and I think most people who are just trying to understand what's happening, and to some of these people, they may be, this is boring. Okay, fine. I don't care. I mean, everyone has their own, venues that they like or roads they want to take, but I'm not going to respect any so-called, news organization that's going to take this approach to informing the public. And I think, whether it's Rick with CTV and now he's on his own, or other news reporters from I was going to say old school, but even now that have a respect for the public will do that. They will take the time to research, investigate, and present the information. And it's up to me to decide whether or not it's something true or not. He leaves it with you, Johnny. He'll leave it with all of us. If you want to believe it. Go ahead.
This comment, Akeem 9852, he says, "Okay, is this AI? Question mark. He might be catching on to it."
Yeah, I mean, look, man, I didn't click on the video, actively going in there, tried to find some way to discredit it or debunk it. I watch Richard Wolff sometimes.
Here's another guy, Josh. What the fuck? Why use AI? Rick, there's people on here catching on near the bottom. It's almost done here. Yeah. So Yeah. People are saying that it's AI.
Yeah. But they didn't want you to know that.
I've seen 2 comments, people catching on that it's AI.
But it took somebody else to tell you. You wouldn't take it from me.
Rick.
That's okay.
Good work.
Okay, thank you. I'm just trying to provide a service.
Good work, man.
That's
Good
all.
work.
Just trying to provide a service.
That's good what you did there.
Yeah.
Oh, you made us open our eyes.
I hope so. I hope that I'm giving people sharpened tools to navigate
I'm just
through
proving
this.
that you're right.
To navigate through this very complicated, high-tech
That's
information landscape.
Navigating through somehow. Yeah.
We need, this is an exercise that we all need to take note of in order to arm ourselves moving forward. This will help you all, I hope.
Yeah.
So that you don't get duped in the future. Me too. I was almost, if I hadn't looked at it, taken a second look, I would have just listened to it just like you, John.
Good work, man.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing, because fooled me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot, thousands, tens of thousands of others. So you're not.
Yeah, a lot of the comments are good. Everybody agrees with it, but there's a few that are talking about it's AI generated. So I think you're right.
Yeah, and
when I see flags like that, I think you're right.
And because I started to look closer, the content, what they're talking about in it, it's also not credible because the book. I looked up the book. It hasn't been released yet.
You read a lot of books, Rick?
The book that they're talking about. Now,
do you read a lot of books?
Some.
I don't read books. I'll wait for the movie to come out.
Well, see, that's what they were doing here. They were getting out in front of it, and they made the movie even before the book was released. So that should tell you something too. But here, you know what, you guys, I'll go around real quick for a final thought, and then I have something real special planned to cap things off tonight. Dragon, you go first.
Oh, you want me to go first? Well, first of all, I will say thanks to all the haters of Channel 2, because I will say you guys don't lack imagination to try to, insult me or say things. But you know what? I don't take it as an insult. I take it as a fuel to go even deeper in what I'm doing. So you know what, guys? It didn't work the way you wanted. But hey, thanks. And the other thing is that, I'm gonna finish the night reading a good Stephen King book called Cell, because it's all about cell phone basically destroying the minds of people. So I think it's into our timeline.
All right. John, you go next.
Who, me?
Yeah, give us a final thought.
Oh, I thought you said Sean. Yeah. Don't believe everything you hear. I've learned that a long time ago, but with this story not going away, you don't know what to believe anymore. But something going on, and they're not releasing the list. It's a big flag. And there's a lot of heavy people involved, powerful, and they don't want to be dragged in the mud, and they've done wrong, and they're covering them. This is a cover-up job. You know that. And we'll never know the truth, Rick. So whatever you hear, it's probably just a fraction of the truth, because you're never going to know the truth on this.
Well, we're here trying to get people closer to the truth, if nothing else. And sometimes
I don't think you're going to find it.
Well, I found some tonight by showing people the lie, and that's the truth. Sharon, over to you.
I like what you said, Johnny. Don't believe what you hear or read or see or read. But I always think it's helpful for me if I come across a person or a network that that challenges what's being presented and brings forth facts and information that's verifiable, whether it's through, a government source or through a court, legally. So if I just stop and breathe and reflect a moment and ask myself good questions, and if I'm drawn to people who do the same in search of what is real and what isn't, what is real and what isn't, it seems to be really significant now. And I've just, that it just hit me like a thunderbolt this week, that what's real, what isn't, and to pay attention. And for me personally, it's just, to have faith in something, to have faith and to in humanity, and have faith in something bigger than myself, but at the same time through this gloriously dangerous, unstable merry-go-round of a circus of information that seems to be driving people in one direction and then another. I'm not sheep. I'm not going to be herded anymore. And probably, and I wasn't even aware I was, I was being herded, and that's what shocks me. That's what just makes me realize, like, wow, this little computer, this little phone has that much power to influence the way I think and what I do every day. It's good to step away and just, walk in the grass with my bare feet, hug a tree, go for a walk with my dog, because that's real. Hug your children and your family. That's real. Okay, thanks, Rick.
Yeah.
And Sharon, exactly. Rick's learned from experience being a journalist. I've learned from school. You hear a story at school of someone, by the end of the day, there's like 20 different stories.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way it is, and that's the way it is on this chat, like all this chat stuff. Eh? Someone will tell you a story, and it gets changed. It's like
what is shocking to me, it's just the speed that this is going at now. I just have to step away and step back and limit myself to people that I trust or think that are presenting me good information or factual information, and gives me the freedom to decide what is true and what isn't. I think it's just good for me personally, just to step back from a lot of craziness, and some people like Rick and others in the news. I don't know how they handle it all, but I just appreciate his work, and I appreciate you, Johnny, and Dragon. Thank you.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
And with that, we're going to wrap things up with something that I've been working on for a little while, and I rushed it to get it kind of done today. This was actually going to be incorporated into our War of the Worlds production that is coming up as one of the scenes that is entirely fiction, by the way, just so you know. All right, so you don't think that it's real. Which also, ironically, all the way back in 1938, that whole thing, people were like, I think it's real. And then there was a panic in the streets. Right. And so here we are talking about it in 2025. And this was going to be incorporated into that. And I can only say this. This was inspired by nobody. It's not about anybody that we know. It doesn't have anything to do with anybody or any person who's ever called into the show. It doesn't have anything to do with anybody who doesn't like me, or maybe insults me or attacks me, or has been calling me really nasty names in the chat. That hasn't been happening. Like, it's not about that. This doesn't have anything to do with any of that stuff at all. This is just about, okay, it's not about that guy or that guy. It's certainly not about that guy. Okay. Just so you know, just up front,
we believe you.
Nothing to do with that person that you're probably thinking about right now, him at all. It's got nothing to do with him at all. Nothing. Okay, John? Right. This isn't about you for sure. And it's not about that guy. Just so you know. And with that, get ready for War of the Worlds coming up in a couple of weeks. And if you want to participate, give me a call. this and here's the latest song from Maverick and the News Brothers, because I'm turning War of the Worlds, by the way, into something of a musical. Just so you know. And it's going to be so much fun. And here we go. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Flip Side.
Ladies and gents, put up your dukes and pull up your socks. It's Detroit's darling of destruction, the flapping, slapping, sass-mouthed king of the ring, Motor Mouth.
He's a Motor City marvel with a mouthful of sass. Throws jabs so quick they're made out of brass. He'll insult your mother and punch out your pop, then steal your gal with a shoulder pop. But when the crowd's gone home and the bell's gone ding, he does a little very different thing. Motor Mouth in a tutu, talking big but he's sweet as fondue. Paints his nails in candy stripes, sachets round in his fancy tights. He struts and he shimmies behind closed doors, pirouettes cross them parquet floors. He's the Sultan of Smack, the Duke of Flair, with glitter in places he won't declare. He'll bob and weave, then mock your tie, call your grandma slow and your punches dry. He's fast with the fists and faster with jive, but at home it's jazz hands and he thrives. He's got pearls in the pantry, bows in a bin, and a mirror that says, let's twirl again. Motor Mouth in a tutu, boxing brute with a soft debut. Fierce by day, but when night falls near, he's got blush on his cheeks and a rhinestone ear. He'll knock you flat, then blow a kiss. Curtsies hard, you don't wanna miss. A Charleston kick, a little hip-hop bounce. He tucks and spins on the 12-count pounds. A left.
Ladies and gents, put up your dukes and pull up your socks. It's Detroit's darling of destruction, the flapping, slapping, sass-mouthed king of the ring, Motor Mouth.
He's a Motor City marvel with a mouthful of sass. Throws jabs so quick they're made out of brass. He'll insult your mother and punch out your pop, then steal your gal with a shoulder pop. But when the crowd's gone home and the bell's gone ding, he does a little very different thing. Motor Mouth in a tutu, talking big but he's sweet as fondue. Paints his nails in candy stripes, sachets round in his fancy tights. He struts and he shimmies behind closed doors, pirouettes cross them parquet floors. He's the Sultan of Smack, the Duke of Flair, with glitter in places he won't declare. He'll bob and weave, your grandma's slow and your punch is dry. He's fast with the fists and faster with jive, but at home it's jazz hands and he thrives. He's got pearls in the pantry, bows in a bin, and a mirror that says, let's twirl again. Motor mouth in a tutu, boxing brute with a soft debut. Fierce by day, but when night falls near, he's got blush on his cheeks and a rhinestone ear. He'll knock you flat, then blow a kiss. Curtsies hard, you don't wanna miss. A Charleston kick, a little hip-hop bounce. He tucks and spins on the 12-count pounds. A left hook, right hook, pirouette, twist. Ballet bruiser, you get the gist. Feathered robe and a vicious grin. He'll knock you out while tucked right in. Motor mouth in a tutu, Detroit's champ and a fashion guru. He floats like a flapper, stings like a bow. Got sequins where no man should go. So if he calls you names, just let it slide. 'Cause deep inside, there's a gal with pride. He's the queen of mean in a total disguise, with boxer briefs and butterfly eyes. And remember, folks, don't judge a book by its boxing gloves. Sometimes the fiercest fellas just want to dance.
This has been a Maverick Multimedia production.